Welcome to One Question at a Time, the TSI series. Question number 37. We have 3x to the power of -2 times y to the power of 4 all to the power of -3. So let's review on some formula here. So if we have some a to the power of negative numbers, okay, some a to the power of negative n, that will be the same thing as we do the reciprocal of a to the power of positive that number. Okay, so in this case we have those numbers will be flipped over, so 1 over 3x to the power of -2 y4 all to the power of 3. Okay, so based on that, it's kind of a little bit more to work with, and I see it go with the fractions. So I can also using this to approach the problem. So if you have a, okay, times b, an, bm, and all to the power of t, okay, you can distribute this one in, and a to the power of n times t, all right, times b to the power of m times t. This one is power of powers, so it's the same thing at n to the power of m. That's the power of powers, so you have a to the power of n times n. Okay? And if you have something with the same base, an, you multiply a to the power of m. This is the product of the two exponent numbers, so we will have base and then the exponent will be added. It's easy to mess up between that two, so be careful. When I start to do this, I see that it's kind of like just flip over a few times because I may working with the fractions and the negative exponent. So instead, I just kind of rewrite it and then distribute using this formula right here. So I distribute this one to 3. So I have 3 to the power of -3. Then I distribute the next one is the x, okay, -2 times -3. Then I multiply y to the power of 4 times -3. See that my t right now is -3, okay? Right here 3 mean 3 to the power of 1. And this one is mean like 1 times -3, okay? Let's write that down so that you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so now we simplify this one. 3 to -3, okay, multiply x to the power of -2 times -3, that 2 negative make it positive, and 2 times 3 is 6, multiply by y, 4 times 3 is 12, but have a negative, so -12. Now, if we see the negative, we make it like that to make it positive, okay? Now multiply by x to the power of 6. It's the same thing as that over 1. So if we have something, divide by 1 is that thing. So we should rewrite like that in fractions, so it's easier to simplify in the next step. Okay, now we have the y to the negative powers. We flip over and then make that power become positive. Okay. Now, simplify one more time. So this is the product of fractions. So we do top to top, bottom to bottom. So 1 times x to the power of 6 times 1, that is x to the power of 6. And then at the bottom, you have 9 times 1 times y to the power of 12. Okay, so C is the right answer. Not 27. Okay. Compared to if I still continue with whatever I going with this one, I still distribute that 3 inside. So 1 cube is 1. Okay. And then now we have 3 cube times x to the negative 6 times y to 12. Now you see the only thing is negative is the x to the negative 6. So it's the same thing, and I do flip over, so I will make it on the top, it become positive, and then I have 9 times 12 y to the power of 12. It's the same thing. And if you don't know how, remember when you have the multiplications, this one is the same thing as 1 over 3 cubed times 1 over x to the power of negative 6 times 1 over y to the power of 12. So now you see everything is positive, and except for x to the power of negative 6. So we need to rewritten that at 1 over 9 times x to the power of 6 over 1. We flip over, so that's why the exponent becomes changing the sign. Okay, so it's x to the power of 6 instead of negative times 1 over y to the power of 12, and then we do fractions, multiplication of fractions, top to top, bottom to bottom. So x to the power of 6 times 9 over 9 times y to the power of 12. And from here, I can rewrite, if you still don't get it, from the second step, we will have 3x to the negative 2y4 to the power of 3, and then the top becomes 1. Okay, the top becomes 1, and then we distribute that 3. Remember, 3 is 3 to the power of 1, so power 2 powers, that is multiplications. So 3 times 1 is 3. You make it 3 right here, and then you have negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 right here, and then you have 3 times 4, that is 12. And you have to keep the base as it is, right? Thank you for participating in this series, and see you next time.